Hi, this is Ralph, and in this video I want to use a JavaScript loop to add the options for a selection menu that I would use for a credit card expiration date. Okay, so I've got a form already created, and I just have a selection menu of months, and I have a selection menu, but there's no options for years. So if you were looking at the script, there's all my choices for months, and I don't have any options for years. And I want to use JavaScript to add those particular values. Now the form is already created here, and by the way, you can grab this file. There's a link in the video description. So let's head up here, and I'm just going to write the script in the head section as opposed to an external file. So I'll work in the head section, give myself a set of script tags, and I'm going to create a function. And I'll go ahead and put in create year options. Alright, so that's going to be the name of my function, create year options. And this function I'm actually going to run on load. So right in the body tag, I'll just go ahead and put a little onload in here. So as soon as the person comes to the web page, this data is going to be loaded up into the selection menu. Okay, so this function, I do need to get some information. I need to know what the current year is and things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with a variable d equals new date, create that date object. I'm going to go ahead and get my variable current year. It's going to be equal to d dot get full year and get the 4-digit year variable, and these are going to be my year options. And I'm going to start off by making this equal to, it's going to be a string. It's going to be, there we go, that looks good. Now for the loop. So I'm going to create a for loop, and with a for loop, I'm going to have a set of parentheses and a set of curly braces. Within the parentheses, I'm going to have a few arguments in there, and basically I'm going to have three things. I'm going to declare a variable, set the initialization of that variable. I'm going to put in the little test, the logical test, what needs to be true, and then the third thing is going to be the incremental change in that variable. So I'm going to start off with, I'll just go ahead and declare a variable I, which is going to be equal to my current year. Okay. Then I'll semicolon, and as long as I is less than the current year, and I'm going to do a +5, semicolon, and then I plus plus for an incremental change. So my current year is 2014. As long as I is less than current year +5, so 2014 +5, or 2019. So as long as 2014 is less than 2019, then I'm going to do the things that are in the curly braces. And then I'm also going to increase I, so 2014 will become 2015. Okay, so what am I going to do each and every time as part of this loop? Well, I'm going to take that year options variable that I created earlier, and I'm going to append plus equals with each iteration of this loop. Now what I'm going to be creating here is a set of option tags with appropriate values. And what I find is the easiest way to do is I'm going to give myself a set of quotes. I'll go ahead and create a mock-up, a template basically, of an option tag. Value equals, and then I'll put in the year, because I want the year to be that, and then I'll put in the year again, and then I'll have my closing option tag, just so I have an idea for what this thing is supposed to look like. But I don't want to just have year. I don't want to hard type a number. This is actually going to be my my I variable, because my I is currently 2014, then it'll be 2015, 2016, 2017, on and on and on. So now that I can see what my set of option tags are supposed to look like, I can go ahead and replace information with the I variable, making sure that I use my quotes properly. So instead of year, I'm going to have double quotes plus I plus double quotes. And that's true. I'm using my Sublime editor. It actually creates double quotes for me, creates a set, so I have to keep an eye on that. So basically I'm changing the word year with a set of double quotes plus I, my iteration variable, plus double quotes. And that's going to kind of continue off. So let me copy this. I'm going to pop it over here. And basically what's going on is the literal string is going to be option tag value attribute equals single quote. And then the other literal string I have is single quote angle bracket. And then another literal string is basically going to be my closing option tag. So now that that's taken care of, my year options variable contains a series of option tags. So now I can do document get element, if I spell it, by ID. Let me scroll down, just double check what the name is, CCEXPY. Enter HTML equals year options. Okay, so I'm going to be getting the current year, and then I'm going to create a series of option tags that reference the current year, and then plus the next year, plus the next year, plus the next year for 5 years down. And I'm going to take that group of options, and I'm going to insert it in between the opening and closing select tags of my selection menu for credit card expiration years. So I'm going to go ahead and save this, head back over to the browser, refresh, that's a good sign, choose the drop down, and there we go. 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18.